Alright, you're still on Morning Ride, and of course it's the Tuesday's edition. Okay, and we are at that spot where we have an interface with our guest. And as I speak, joining us already in the studio, I'm the only man that is blessed now amongst the women.
Yes, indeed.
And I always respect the women folk so much. And so the cameras can just power quickly on the state chairman, Nigerian women journalist, Comrade Patricia Gbemudu, and of course our own on-air personality, Eunice Emeyazia, the Zonal Secretary of NAWOJ. I'd like to welcome you into the studio this morning.
Welcome to the studio.
Okay, so if the women's are
Yes, sir, and I guess I'll start. It's the ladies first, right?
Yes, ladies first.
All right, so let's start by asking what NAWOJ is, first of all, and then you tell us the activities, the overview of the activities of NAWOJ in Delta State.
Okay. NAWOJ is a Nigeria Association of Women Journalists. The acronym is NAWOJ. Like the name implies, is an all-female journalist, qualified journalist.
Qualified?
Yes.
When you say qualified, what does that mean?
Academic qualification must be included. So it's not just people from street and all those things.
You must have a degree.
You must have a degree. You must have a certificate. If you don't read mass communication or journalism at all, first choice you can have these professional courses that you can take to qualify you as a member of NAWOJ. So it's not just all commerce affairs. So it's open for all female journalists.
Okay. Yeah. So Eunice, you might want to come in here because you're in NAWOJ, right? So tell us some of the activities that you engage in. NAWOJ.
Okay, like our objective is to protect the rights of the public to know the truth. So anything that has to do with advocacy, sensitization, and whether national, international issues, local issues, we are right there telling people about it. So Delta NAWOJ has been in the forefront, advocating issues that has to do with women and children. Because when Pat Gbemudu came into office, that was in 2000. Your first tenure was in about 2006 or so. 16, yeah, 2016. So she came up with a mandate that she was going to work to protect women and children, and that's what our focus will be because we are women.
Sure.
So she has been in the forefront, moving from place to place, sensitizing people, things that has to do with gender-based violence, things that has to do with illnesses that affects women, how women can balance their homes, just these things that affect women and children. And so all our activities
Trans and girl child.
Yes. And so all our activities have been focused on improving the lives of women and children. And that's why Delta NAWOJ was also at the forefront advocating for the passage of the VAP law, Violence Against Persons Prohibition Law. At the end of the day, we thank God that in Delta State, our state governor has graciously signed that one into law. And that VAP law is a very serious law.
So what does it mean?
Right now, before now we have this government Nigerian Constitution. And in the Nigerian Constitution, there are certain cases, especially rape case.
Okay.
The penalty there for culprit was just 5 years imprisonment, and you see people just go in and out. And most times we don't have money. Well, the time they are saying trial and all those things, I know their jail normally run concurrently, so we end up spending no time. But when this VAP law carried out specific punishment, and in the Nigerian Constitution, violence, we just see violence against women. That type of rape just consider the women folk alone. But the VAP law, that to call this as that even boys are raped.
Yes.
Boys are molested, small boys. So this VAMPLO, and the VAMPLO in Nigerian Constitution, it just talk of penetration. But this VAMPLO, under the VAMPLO, even oral, and any form of penetration, anything you use your finger, use an object, any time, any form of you are caught. Once you are caught, and there's evidence, we go for it. And the defilement in this thing, of course, is life imprisonment.
Wow.
So,
okay, so quickly, we know that the violence against women and girls is defined as an act of gender-based violence that results in or is likely to result in physical, sexual, or mental harm or suffering to women and girls. And recently, the Taraba state government, to be precise, spearheaded a law, a bill, and that was championed by the wife of the governor, Ishaku.
Yes.
She's Mrs. Ishaku, you know, and the governor immediately expressly said that bill should go straight. Do we see that being replicated, apart from the VAP law now? Do we see that being replicated in Delta State? Do you intend to carry out an advocacy campaign to that effect? Because this is a governor's wife pushing for that.
in Delta State, that bill, this VAP law compasses all. Even in the years, in Delta State, even the first lady, the governor's wife here, joined hand in making it happen. She played a very vital role in achieving that. So with this VAMP law, it covers a whole lot of things.
Before now, there are other laws existing, that, covered issues that have to do with gender-based violence. But this VAP law is all-encompassing. If you go through the law, you will see that there is nothing that was not covered. So we're not pushing for any other. All we want is full implementation of this existing law. And that's it.
And we probably have Child's Law Act, which yes, we probably have Child's Law. So all those things, it's just like Child's Rights Law.
Okay.
Yes, everything about child,
The rights of a child.
the rights of a child.
Right.
So if you look at all these laws, there is no crime or there is no thing that will go against a child that will not see where it's on. So we have laws. So like she said, it's not just making laws. What we are pushing is full implementation.
That's it.
That is it. So not just on paper. Yes, we have bank law, we have child rights law, we have this, we have that. How far? How well? This is what we are pushing for. And most times, like she said, our advocacy is a continuum. It's not something we just do today and fold our hands. If there is any issue that we need to push, we've been doing that. Even before this VAP law was signed into act, once there was an issue, we pick it up, we push further. We visited the Attorney General time without number, went to House of Assembly advocating before we now go this VAP law. So what we are doing now is to ensure the full implementation of the law.
Okay.
Yes, not just having laws on paper.
Because I was to come to that because I know that the issue is not only devastating for the survivors of violence and their families, but also entails significant and socioeconomic costs to a very great extent. So is it not imperative on government to make sure they expedite, as all of this? Yes, implementation.
I would say that, like in Delta State, our government is doing marvelously well in the area of protecting the rights of children and women.
Okay.
Government is very, very concerned because that was why he created a particular office for the girl child.
Okay.
We know we have a particular office for the girl child that handles, and the lady is doing quite well. And that's why we have that JEST program that we did some time ago where a lot of persons were empowered. The governor is very interested in the welfare of women and girls. There's also a committee right now that is working. There's actually a rape case that happened in Isebuku.
Yes.
The committee is working. In fact, there's the
Child Rights Implementation Committee.
Exactly, Child Rights Implementation Committee. That committee is working. They are doing it. So the issue, I think the problem actually in the challenge rather in implementing some of this law is silence. There's this culture of silence amongst us here in Africa. People don't want to speak out. Victims are like, oh, let's cover it. Don't let people
because of shame.
Stigmatization. Exactly. So it's a family matter. Cover it. That kind of stuff. And you find out that some of these victims, they are affected. The corporates are usually members of the family. So family members are like, so it's a family matter. Let's cover it.
Right.
You know, apart from stigmatization. So the culture of silence is the major problem why some of these issues are not being fully implemented. But if somebody comes out today and say, I was raped, the state government will go into action.
Right.
The one that spoke out in Isebuku, that one is on fire right now. They are on top of the situation.
Right.
So the problem is everybody should open up, talk. If you feel that your rights have been violated, speak out. People will hear you and take it up.
Okay, when you're talking about speaking out now, we've had cases of where people were just maligned like that, forcefully. Do you understand? It's not as if the victims were raped, but they said, okay, I'm going to deal with this guy, right? And they now, blow a wrong whistle and all of that, and innocent men actually go for it. There are cases like that. I know of cases, more than 10, 15 cases like that. General perspective.
Even the accused have right to hire a lawyer.
Yes.
But at that point, who is a defender?
No, see, let me
It's
tell
the
you.
work of the man against the man.
No, it's not just like that. Let me tell you, see this rape case is even part of the things we're even advocating for.
Okay.
Because to get justice, you need evidence.
That's it.
You need evidence. And that is why we keep telling it, normally this sensitization campaign we are carrying out. Once you are raped, you don't need to bath. You go straight to the police and to the hospital. Okay. Because the specimen must be seen. So if you raise false alarm that you were raped and there is no evidence, the person cannot go in for it.
Okay.
So it's not just by raising an alarm, just because I don't like you and I want to mean you. I will now rape, come and assist, rape. Then they will just, the security will just pick you, they arrest you, they separate you and go for it. No. There must be an evidence.
All these are spelled out in the law.
All these things are spelled out in the law. So the issue of blowing false whistle will not arise on this because there must be an evidence.
All right. So now let's talk about how, because obviously your team has been carrying out a lot of campaign and awareness, creating awareness. Now let's talk to us about how far you've been able to carry out this awareness, and what have you achieved so far?
Thank you very much. Since we came on board, we've done so much. Let me not say we've done well. It's not yet to blow your applause.
I'm not trying to talk from the sides. Since when Comrade Gbemudu came on the leadership, of NAWOJ, there's been high sensitivity. There's been high level of advocacy. It's one thing, NAWOJ is either cleaning Asaba. There's something that is being done by NAWOJ. So just bring it up to speak.
It's not yet real, like I said. But when we came on board, we sat down and we're like, we can't just walk on air. Let's externalize what we want to do.
Okay.
Let's know how to follow it. So we map out some programs. We have a program you just mentioned, Son and Watch Cleaning Asaba. We have a program called Delta Must Be Clean.
Okay.
You understand?
How do you do that? Once off or once in a month?
We come once in a month, sanitation day, to sensitize people. You know, because most times once they say there's this clean up, people should not go. So some people will skin. You see them, they will look for a way to escape and all those things, and they will cut some, they will find them and all those things. And then all the time at arcade, I had to tell the people concerned, all those environmental people, because once they catch them, they will put the tax force, they will put them, they will not find them. I said, no, don't find them. Those people that refuse to sweep their own house, they don't sweep the streets. Bring them out, let them pick.
We will clean the gutters.
And clean the gutters.
That's it.
So you're like, that was good. So when they were supervised, they clean the gutters, clean everywhere. So what we do, we are journalists, ours is awareness creation. So we sensitize the people, we tell the public on the need to be clean. The need to keep the environment clean. And we come out Saturdays, he just said so. You see what we demonstrate so that we know, like I said,
walk the talk.
We walk the talk. We don't just want to talk the talk, we walk the talk.
That's it.
That is NAWOJ for you. They also say NAWOJ, we walk the talk. So we show people what we are supposed to do and we educate them. And the last one we did, that was the malaria day. We noticed from the doctors, we are not medical experts, but they, from what the feelers from information we gathered, that mosquito can only breed on dirty environment. Sure. Still water and all those things. So we advise, we educate them. They need to clean their gutters. We need to keep the environment so that mosquito will not see a place to breed. And in fact, when there is no mosquito, we know that mosquito now is carrier of malaria. So if you don't have mosquito, that means there won't be malaria. So that is the way we handle that of our program. We also have a school program, Fritz Club, which we established in schools.
What did you call it?
Fritz Club.
What is that? What does it mean?
Fritz means like fencing, pins, and all those things. So we use the opportunity to educate the young girls in secondary school, and the people in that club, we see them as champions. You understand? They are the people to carry out the change agents, to carry out the message to your people. They understand. So we educate them. And we need to show emphasis and the need to focus on their study. We age them on their career decision and a whole lot of things. And we have I'm talking about this Fritz Club. The school is calling us back now. During this surge of court season in schools, we go in. Through our sensitization and education, the thing reduced. But the school now calls us back now that there's another thing now. There's immorality stuff, there's the children, they've lost it, that we should please come. And because we go time to time. So that is the one we are planning now to go. So we have another program targeting the genotype. We use that to key in on the state governor, we have this sickle cell initiative of sickle cell. So he sat down they can actually prevent this. Sickle cell is preventable. So how do you prevent it? Before you go into a relationship is to know your genotype. So we narrowed it down to our language. We use our local language. Waiting be your genotype. Wow. Waiting be your genotype, because it's communities we are dealing with. We are not just here. You travel down. We travel down to the basis, to the roots, to communities. So we use a language that we understand. Even before you go into marriage, please go try and check. Waiting be your genotype. You don't want marry. Waiting be your genotype. Can we marry? So that is one we are doing now. So this is we
know that. As journalists, we have a role to play in the things that happen in the society. So we understand the agenda setting function of the media, and we key in on it. Most of the topical issues around, we don't let it slide. Just on Sunday when we did that candlelight,
we're coming to that. Yes.
You know, when we mark international days, especially the ones that affect us here as women, as children, we don't play with them. Especially when we talk about World Menstruation Day, things that affect the women and children.
You champion it.
Yes, we don't joke with them.
Wow.
There are things that have to do with peace, World Peace Day, World Family Day, World Charity Day, population, you know, those kind of stuff. We don't play with those things. We try to sensitize people. Sometimes they say, you are just there talking. It's not just, we are not there because we don't have work to do or we don't have anything to spend our time on. We know the importance of these messages that we pass. Okay, today if people hear, they are talking about peace, we look at a particular angle, you know, in advocating things that has to do with us here. When we talk about peace, for example, if you're talking about peace in Nigeria, you know the area of peace that you actually need here in our locality. Sure. We focus on that and, you know, sensitize the people. So these are the things that we do because we understand our role as, you know, journalists.
Exactly. You know, as life is a don't be jealous. You understand? Don't be jealous. Women, you understand? Yeah. No, we're journalists, but we are like, okay, what can we do? As women, as mothers.
Yeah.
You understand? We are not just, we can't just sit down, the government say, the people say, let us do the unusual things that think
I like that.
unusual.
I think that's a very good one.
Yeah.
You understand? So that is what, and it's not affecting. And let me just note it. You understand? It's not affecting our home.
What is not affecting?
What we do.
Okay, it's not
Our profession is not affecting our home. If you are in marriage,
okay.
You understand? If you're a married woman, it will not affect your home.
The activities you make.
Activities.
Okay.
If you're
it only
single,
bring positive impact.
brings positive impact. If you're single too, it will not stop you from getting married.
That's it.
So your job,
push you, shine your light.
your job and our job and our activities is not affecting.
Negatively.
Sometimes people say, oh, these are feminists. They are always talking about, no, that's not it. We preach balance. We understand that both the men, if we are talking about violence, for instance, we know that men and women can be abused.
True.
In fact, I've seen a home where the woman is the one abusing the man. Verbal abuse. He cannot just come to the house. In fact, if he closes from work, he's looking for somewhere to go because the home is not peaceful. Before you come in, the woman knocks the hell out of him. You see, so that we preach balance in all of these things. Oh, women, see your role in all of this. If you want peace in your home, this is what you should do. You know, so we are not like those feminists doing actually feminists for your actually let's point it out. Balance your home. Ensure that the home front is settled. As you are coming out, this is what you should do. These are things that will make sure that everything is balanced.
Wow.
But the world is actually not balanced. The world, sincerely, is not.
Of course, the structure
is not balanced because we still see homes where the women not only verbally abusing the men, but even taking the step by even hitting the man first. You know, physical abuse.
with our small head.
That is not common down here.
That's
not common in NAWOJ.
It's not NAWOJ. I mean Africans.
With Africa?
It's not common.
For a woman to just first of all pick an object, I will start.
Because
go to the kitchen, run into the kitchen, bring a pistol.
We've seen that.
No. Before you see a woman running, that should be on.
That's violence. That's violence.
Okay. Away from that, but I'm sure we would probably before we round up this program, I'll also tell you more about our personal experiences with women. But recently, NAWOJ, the Nigerian Association of Women Journalists NAWOJ Delta State joined the rest of the world to mark the International AIDS Candlelight Memorial Day. Can you bring us up to speed on that quickly?
Okay, the Candlelight Memorial Day is a global event happening all over the world. It's the United Nations event. So they remember those who have died as a result of AIDS and other related ailments. So here in Delta State, we marked that day because we know that many people have died as a result of AIDS. You know, some people say, AIDS did they kill. You know, AIDS did they kill. I've read that. And I'm like, what? It still kills. People are still ignorant. You know, it's like when you're telling somebody, go and know your genital. People just don't want to know what their status is. Know your status. It's very important. And some people say, oh, I'm not sexually active, so it's not working. What about those sharp objects that you use? Those kind of, just know your status for yourself. Though sometimes it becomes too late before people seek care. And that's why many people die. Early detection is key in the fight against AIDS or other ailments. Even now COVID-19 has added. And they're telling us, oh, early detection. When you find out that your health, there's something unusual about your health, go for medical checkup. So that we decided to come together, you know, to remember those who have died as a result of AIDS and other related ailments and even gender-based violence. So we talked about the VAT law, you know, we used the occasion to sensitize the people that people still die as a result of gender-based violence, as a result of AIDS, tuberculosis, COVID-19 and all of those ailments. And then we also use the occasion to hail as many that have been in the forefront, fighting for the emancipation of women and children from all kinds of violence, and those who have been fighting to ensure that those who are victims of either AIDS or other related ailments, that they are saved. So these are things that's all about.
Okay, I know. My chairperson is.
Like we've been talking since we are here, we always catch up on any international day to send out message. So that's the we probably use it to educate people on the need to stay safe. Okay, you understand? With this gender-based violence, sexual harassment, and all those things, the thing is on the high. It's something that's, and it's something that you can avoid. You understand? I tell women, there is no marriage that works your life. So no marriage. Because of what people will say, a lot of women have died because of what people will say.
Societal views.
Because the societal views, what people will, no calling, no tagging and all those things. We need to live to hear what people will say.
You need to live.
Yes. If you die, people will still talk.
Yes.
Let me, one of our best, when I say clown, and there is always the normal life. We say talk. If you talk, you die. If you don't talk, you will die. Why don't you talk and die? You understand? So if you remain in that marriage because of what people will say, you will die. People will still talk. If you leave that marriage, please stay aside for people will still talk. So why don't you stay alive to hear people talk? Why don't you stay alive to hear people talk? So that we use that opportunity to tell them as well. So please, if you know that place, that your family is no longer conducive, that home is no longer a home, it has turned to battlefield, please and please take a step back. Leave that scene. Maybe you people will settle your scores later. Forget what people will say. Please, I'm using this opportunity to send the message out there. Don't die. No marriage. What's your life? Those children, you will think, if I leave these children, we will not survive it. We've seen a lot. We've seen a lot of people, women, we don't pray for that. We say it's not our portion. I will pray to never be our portion. But it's a reality. People die during childbirth. And that child survives. So these are the things you will begin to think of, and it will help you. It will help you.
All right. Okay. We talked about
just before allow if we drum up the very last question. Recently, we saw that UNESCO and the Japanese government, in partnership with Delta State, and the women are also part of it.
Yeah.
Can you just throw more light on the partnership, most especially where NAWOJ can come in and play a role?
Okay, yeah, there is a new project in the country, and they're actually operating in three states in the country: Delta, Bauchi, and Kobe.
Okay.
So we are lucky, we are opportune that
Our
Delta
state
states
is among.
as among
Yeah.
them. So this is just like a pilot scheme. Then they will scale it up to other states.
Okay.
And the project is basically for women and girls empowerment.
Okay.
And they're going to empower women, both capacity building, which is the most important thing.
Okay.
Once your capacity is built, you can do exploits. So it's not just coming, this is not the one they are coming to give money. It's not the money, but building, most important is to build our capacity. As a woman, if my capacity is built, I'll be able to know the right thing to do at the right time.
Sure.
Even in decision making, I won't feel so inferior. I won't feel that the man have to tell me what to do first before I do it. And I will not feel like this course is not the one that a woman will study. Thank God we've gone past that level now. You can now know that you can study any particular course, and that is the same thing we are bringing to table. If as a woman I can study engineering, mechanical engineering, and otherwise, so what is it that is stopping me from excelling in that profession? If as a woman I can vote and be voted for, then what is stopping me from pursuing a position? So we are talking about capacity building and other things. When they come, we just launch it in the States. We have the concept notes on what they are going to do. So as they come, the NAWOJ, because it has to do with, we are going to only key in order to educate people, to create awareness, because something might be happening here and people out there, because that is our concern, will not be aware of what is happening. Okay, so our concern is to let people take that same message to grassroots, so they will know what is happening at this urban area and know how to key in and benefit.
That's my question.
Yes.
Because you're talking about conveying the message down to the rural areas from the urban areas. How do you take this campaign there? Is it via social media, or the way it came on?
We move.
Yes, you delegate people.
We move. I move as a team. NAWOJians move. We move. The traditional leaders, people, the high-profile people, the influencers. We meet them. Those who can, you understand. So we meet them, we talk to them, and the women, we talk to them directly. We talk to, we gather them, we organize town hall meeting. Women, we talk to them, we educate them, we sensitize them. So we don't just stay here. Most of them don't have access to social media. So we meet them.
You know, there was this program that was, if you recall the program that we did at Emo. Is it Emo? No. Where the traditional ruler was there. Well, we saw that the women had their separate town hall. The men have their say no, that women, they don't want women in the men's meeting. And the men are the decision makers. That means women are not part of the decision. So when we got that information, we went there, we visited the traditional ruler, spoke with them, said it's not right. So the women are not willing to. So we have to gather the women. That was when we formed that women vanguard in the community. We joined other civil society groups and went into action and built a women vanguard, a strong word of women who will speak out. And today I'm telling you, there's a big change in that community. Women speak out.
Wow.
So this is what we do. Like this program that has come. They told us, according to the concept of the program, it said it's for those hard-to-reach communities.
Hard-to-reach communities. The poor of the poorest.
Yes. So that in such places, these are the people that the programs are for. So like you said, we pick that message and ensure it gets to them. That's our role. We will not just sit and start watching. No, we don't watch. We have to go and ensure that that program is effectively implemented, that the women and children are meant for, that they really benefit. And if you check it, the program, the concept is that these things will be done through advocacy and, you know, yes, it's through advocacy and education. So if it's going to be through advocacy and education, that means we have to be there. We have to ensure that these messages are passed. And whatever benefits that these people should derive from the program, it gets to them.
Okay. So that's where I will actually drop it. It is no longer the women OAT. No. It is now women are great. Yes. There's no controversy. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes, because I have a mother, I have a wife, and I have a daughter. You know, so.
That means very soon. In fact, not very soon. I'm joining NAWOJ.
We have our own men now.
Men are part of all, like this fit club. We have men there. We call them the he for she. Yes, we call them the he for she. So they are the ones that act as the protectors of the women. When you see that some girls are being marginalized or whatever in their schools, these men will come up and they are like, you know, shielding them. So we call them the he for she's. So people who want to be part of us who are not women, they can be part of us. They are the he for she's. They give us the support and the morale.
I hope they don't end up being the dog biscuits. So that's what we'll drop in this morning. We've talked extensively. It's actually an interviewer's delight having the chairperson NAWOJ, Delta State Chapter, Comrade Gbemudu Chike. That was what's name is my friend. And of course, the secretary, South NAWOJ, on OAP, Comrade Eunice Emeyazia. Thank you so much. And so that's why we'll drop it on this spot. We've spoken extensively on the global violence against women and the girl child. And we've talked on issues that has actually transversed the entire NAWOJian scope. We'll take a break right now on Morning Ride, and when we come back, it'll be time to look at what the tabloids say for today.